Member for Mulgoa.
This is directed to the Minister for Jobs, Investment, Tourism, Western Sydney. Can the Minister update the House on how the government is delivering jobs and investment for Western Sydney?
Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker, and I do thank the member for Mulgoa, who's doing an outstanding job and has been doing an outstanding job as a passionate advocate and a person who's really focused on creating job opportunities, not just in her community, but right across Western Sydney. And in the Penrith local government area, where she's a local representative, when we first came to government, the unemployment rate was 6.2%. Today, the unemployment rate in that LGA is 3.5%, Mr Speaker. And that only happens when you've got a clear, focused strategy on growing the economy, not just here in the heart of Sydney, but right out across Western Sydney and right out into regional New South Wales. And that's why across the regions we've been able to create 15,000 new jobs over the last 12 months. In fact, what we've seen, Mr Speaker, over the last in the last quarter, we've seen 12,963 jobs alone just in July, with a participation rate of 65.9%. These are the things that are really driving the job opportunities for people right across New South Wales. But when it comes to Western Sydney, Mr Speaker, the New South Wales government has a clear strategy, a clear vision for growing jobs across the West, and it's centred around our Parkland city, the third city of the three cities in Sydney, and at the core of that is our Aerotropolis strategy. This is about leveraging out of the $5 billion of investment that's gone into the new airport and making sure that it's fully integrated into Western Sydney, and that's exactly what the Aerotropolis is going to deliver. And last week I was able to travel to the United Kingdom and Germany with the Premier to lock in the next 4 MOUs to drive job opportunities right across Western Sydney. We've already heard there's a clear focus here for aerospace, defence and advanced manufacturing. And these are the value-added jobs that will really allow knowledge jobs to be based right across Western Sydney and using that Aerotropolis as an investment attraction location. This is not a zero-sum game. It doesn't mean you have to take jobs from BAE Systems away from Newcastle or away from Nowra. It's about growing the job opportunities. This is a company that's already forecasting growing from 4,500 jobs in Australia to 10,000. We've got more than enough space across New South Wales with more than enough expertise to allow companies like BAE to grow in Western Sydney. We want to be able to leverage out of organisations like GE Additive and bring 3D printing and advanced manufacturing so that businesses that are across advanced manufacturing in Australia can plug into global supply chains. We want to be able to leverage out of our commitment to have a mega TAFE in Western Sydney at the Aerotropolis to bring those advanced manufacturing skills to young people based in Western Sydney so they've got jobs not just today, but jobs that will continue to be there as the economy evolves and changes. This is about making sure Western Sydney stays a dynamic economy. We also want to be able to make sure that things move around Western Sydney, which is why an organisation like DB Schenker, one of the largest and most efficient freight and logistics companies anywhere in the world, has decided to come on board and partner with the Aerotropolis. These are the companies that we're bringing on. We're also learning from organisations like the Advanced Manufacturing Research Centre at Sheffield, which is linking up with our own universities to make sure that we're doing the research in that advanced manufacturing, to be able to plug in to the new businesses and truly leverage out of the airport. We're investing in North-South Rail to make sure that places between Penrith, the airport and the southwest of Sydney can access this airport. But Mr Speaker, what I am most concerned about here is that we still see from the opposition a lack of commitment to the airport in Western Sydney. We still see the Labor Party talking with full tongues based on whichever community they want to talk to. They still have members every single day in their communities opposing the investment in the airport. They still have members every single day opposing investments in the Aerotropolis. They refuse to back this government's initiatives about creating jobs, and particularly knowledge-based jobs in Western Sydney. And they should learn from the people like the member for Mulgoa, the member for Camden, the member for Bankstown, who are working hard in their communities to say that we want these knowledge jobs based in Western Sydney. We want to be able to leverage out of the billions of dollars we're investing in infrastructure to make sure those jobs are closer to where people are at home. We know that this Aerotropolis and our investments across the Western Parkland City will generate 200,000 jobs over the next 20 years so that people across Western Sydney have a job closer to where they live. This is about making sure we change the economic opportunities for people right across the West. And I can say, Mr Speaker, I can say with full confidence that only on this side of the House do we have a clear economic plan to grow those jobs.
Member for Mulgoa. 2 minutes is granted.
And so, thank you, Member for Mulgoa, because it's off the back of the work that the Premier has done in markets like the United Kingdom, like Germany and the rest of the European Union, the work that we will leverage out of the free trade agreements that we have as a nation with these new markets emerging in North Asia like Japan and Korea. It's the work that we're doing across regional New South Wales to improve the freight and logistics supply chains that will allow us to take our skills, our expertise, our produce and our services and to export those on the world stage. Australia must continue to move towards a nation that continues to export its products and services on the world stage. We're a small country, and if we want to continue to lift the standard of living, we've got to be able to operate out on the world stage. The Aerotropolis becomes Western Sydney's gateway to that world stage, the place to put our products on the world stage, the place to allow our services to interact with new markets, the place where we can invest in new skills for young people, the place that we can connect Western Sydney to regional New South Wales. It has taken this government over the last 8 years to really understand the economic value of Western Sydney, give it a clear vision, give it a clear investment in economic infrastructure and make sure that we're creating jobs not just today but well and truly into the future.